The college football experience, Fresno State Bulldogs 2025 season preview episode on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Edge Boost. Yes, the bank account that is built for better. Sign up today at edgeboost.bet with the promo code SGPN and get a free Refs Are Terrorists t-shirt. Claim your free shirt today, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/refs. And remember, as always, folks, to let it ride.
This is Mike Leach, head football coach at Mississippi State, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Yes. Woo! Welcome to the college football experience, Fresno State Bulldog style 2025 season preview episode. Please, if you can, jump on over, youtube.com/the college experience. Highly recommend watching the show, but this is a fascinating one because it's the dawn of a new day in Fresno, California. And, we've seen this program over the years be so good. Back to the Jim Sweeney, Pat Hill, Kalen DeBoer, and Jeff Tedford. And, even Tim Skipper. Give Tim Skipper a shout out. But now, dawn of a new day. It's going to be exciting. You got a 12-team playoff. I was of the opinion that Fresno State was a playoff contender a year ago when I interviewed Jeff Tedford. But then that was like on July 20th or something. Like a week later, he resigned because of health problems, and then Tim Skipper took over. So it was, and the last time you saw the coach take over that late was Tim Albin, who won the MAC last year at Ohio, but his first year was 3-9 because he got hot potatoed that. So I don't even think we should throw any slander at one Tim Skipper, but obviously my playoff projections where I thought they were a legit contender went out the window. When that happened, I said, no, I just can't take it now. But this is a program over the years, man, that swings. Honestly, they're very similar to like ECU to me, like on the West. This is a team that fucks up some heavy hits, some big time. I mean, they have put it on UCLA. They put it on Oregon State. I remember they beat Colorado one year when we were number 2 in the nation. I mean, they have had some big time wins in their tenure, and I think with a 12-team playoff, you should be very excited about the future there in Fresno, California. If you're wondering who the hell you're listening to, though, that's fair. My name is Colby Swinging Database Dan, aka Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
I smoke and I drink and I don't have stress and I'm healthy.
I am very healthy. Anytime we're talking college football, we're previewing all 136 teams. We did it Eastern Michigan this morning. A little friend tomorrow night. We got Colorado State and those Ohio Bobcats that Tim Albin was with a season ago. But right now, it's all about Fresno motherfucking State. Let's go. Let's go, Dogs. I am joined by my co-host. He is also the host of the College Basketball Experience with myself. Give it up for former staffer at Alston P with the Governors. South Carolina with the Gamecocks. West Virginia with the Mountaineers. Ryan McIntyre, a.k.a. Moneyline Mac. How are you, brother?
Doing good, man. Yes, love Fresno, love the Mountain West. I'm with you, man. This is a proud program, new era. Let's talk about it.
Mac tonight. Come on, make it Mac tonight.
final year in the Mountain West too, because we got the Pac-12 coming back without Larry Scott and his $30,000 nights in Vegas. I mean, I hope that. Was that with prostitute included? I don't know, but the new Pac-12 is exciting. I think if you're a Fresno State fan. But one last go in the Mountain West. This is a team that's won the Mountain West a few times. Why can't they go back and do it again, buddy? They hire, obviously Tim Skipper, interim job, but they go 6-7 a year ago, make a bowl. But he was let go or not retained, and they went out and hired Matt Entz, who, if you're wondering, you say, who? Well, then you don't know the FCS, because the guy has been pretty damn fantastic. He won three FCS national championships. So, what do you make of the hire, man? Let me just get the slideshow started right now. YouTube.com/The College Experience.
I'm always a fan of the North Dakota State guys getting jobs. Won 2 national championship, won another as a coordinator as well. He spent the last year at USC. I guess if you want to nitpick, his last year was definitely his worst year, and that was his 5th year. But overall, I love seeing the North Dakota State guys get opportunities at the next level.
Yeah, and surprisingly, he was with USC last year, which random. I don't know,
random as hell.
1 year at USC to get familiar with California, because he knew he was moving along to Fresno, right? And you went and saw the Venice Beach, did the old psychic crystal ball.
Yeah.
And he knew. I'm talking out of my ass. But no, I look, the guy's record's incredible. The only thing I'll say is this, and I don't even know that this is fact or definitive. I am just going to play devil's advocate with this. He won 3 natties at North Dakota State. But to me, his last 3 years as a head coach, it seemed like they got worse with each year. Now, you could also say, well, dude, they were battling COVID. One of those years, I think Cam Miller was injured. So, but he leaves, and Wyoming's offensive coordinator, I'm drawing a blank on his name right now, comes in, Tim Palasek, comes in and wins a natty.
Year 1.
That's why it's hard to tell. But you look at some of the other. Craig Bohl did a great job at Wyoming. Kleiman's great at Kansas State.
Yep.
Why can't it work with Matt Entz? He clearly, he won 3 natties. I'm not going to say he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing, but I will say
he's 60-11.
Everybody wins natties there. They spend, and to be fair, North Dakota State, with the exception of South Dakota State, I think. And even if so, I think they spend the most. So it makes sense that they win natties in a way.
Yep.
But where are you at with the hire?
Like I said, man, I like it. I like when North Dakota State guys get opportunities. They've worked wherever they've gone. And his record's really good. So I'm going to give it a shot here. I think he's going to do a good job. I think, and also guys, We've had Craig Bohl, like you said, had success at North Dakota State and then in the Mountain West as well.
Well, and here's another thing: is Fresno doesn't get the hire wrong often.
Yeah,
I think Tim DeRuyter would be the one, but even with that, he still went to 3 bowl games in 5 years, had an 11-2 season. They really have been great with their hires, going back to Jim Sweeney in 1980. So. Yeah, I'm kind of sold in that regard, but we'll see. Let's talk about it. Before we jump into the offense from a season ago, I want to let the good people know that you are listening to the College Football Experience, Fresno State style, and we are part of the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. Get all your free picks and podcasts for the Stanley Cup Finals, the College Baseball World Series. Hey, Fresno won a natty, in the past 20 years. And the NBA Finals on the SGPN app. Get it wherever you get your apps. And remember, as always, folks, to let it ride. right, we are back, and look, the offense, and we got a USC fan here. Matt Entz screwed USC linebacker recruiting. Could have just waited one more day. Ooh, I guess he dipped out to Fresno. Love it. Love the hate here. And shout out to Rolex Dad. I know he's a big Fresno guy. Appreciate you, Rolex Dad. Last season, and I don't know how relevant, like I said, last season was kind of just like a fucking tornado as far as like a sudden tornado where just like the Tedford thing happened. You know, I'm surprised. I'm just glad you got to a bowl in a way. So I don't know how much to put into these numbers because obviously their offensive coordinator Josh Davis was not there last year. 83rd in scoring offense, 57th in pass offense, 85th in rush offense, 76th in total offense. I can guarantee you, if Jeff Tedford was there, they would have been way, way higher than these numbers. So, and Rolex Dad loved the fact he fucked over USC. So there's that California love right there. Josh Davis comes in as offensive coordinator from South Dakota, where the Coyotes were a very good team a year ago. Really over the past couple of years under Bob Nielsen there. I mean, the offense to me is going to get better just because you know what you have. Tim Skipper was a former linebacker at Fresno. I remember him playing there. He got hot potato to tough situation. So I do think the offense will chart better just with stability. How about you?
Yeah, and I think it's interesting that Entz went with Josh Davis from South Dakota because obviously South Dakota and North Dakota State not rivals, but opponents in at the FCS
in the Missouri
level.
Valley, yeah,
Missouri Valley. So they had a hell of a game last year. I think it was like a 1-point game, but South Dakota was really good offensively. I mean, it'll be a work in progress just because it's a new coach, new staff, new terminology, but this is his first FBS gig. He's been at the FCS level his entire career, so looking forward to seeing Josh Davis's offense here.
Yeah, no, and he had Aiden Bowman at quarterback with the Coyotes. I host the FCS College Football Experience, so check that out. But I think it's an intriguing hire because he did a very good job with South Dakota. Now, what's intriguing? Fresno State, Mac. I believe they have and the best fan base out of anyone in California. With to me, it's not even that close. I think they have the best fans for any California school in the FBS. Sac State we'll see down the road, but I feel pretty. I don't think there's any debate about that.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I agree with you. There.
I think you ask most people that know college football, they're like, no, you go up to Fresno, and I've done stand up in Fresno, so I'm telling you, you go see. I didn't go actually to the game, but I was there when there was a game, so I tailgate a little bit. Did some whippets in the parking lot. Yeah, it's they're great fans and they're passionate, but it's also quarterback you. Trent Dilfer, Super Bowl champ. Jeff Tedford played quarterback under Jim Sweeney there before he went up to the CFL after college. Then Billy Volek, who's a guy who played, backup Derek Carr, David Carr. I mean, you can go on and on. Jake Hayner. I mean, they just produce NFL quarterbacks. I'm probably forgetting one or two right now. And that's why it's interesting because I guess I'm one step ahead of it. They went out to the portal and landed someone with NFL pedigree. Yeah. So they have 4 starters back on offense that I could tell. It's a little tricky. It's a little dicey on this because they've had a couple guys that have been injured. You could make a case for it being 5 or 6. Mm-hmm. But running back Elijah Graham, tight end Richie Anderson, who was a freshman that they raved about last season. And then 2 of 5 on the offensive line and Torrin Penwright and Jacob Spomer. Obviously, I feel like, we're probably 9-10 teams into these previews. I think this is number 10. And every team for the most part brings back 3 or 4. I mean, dude, when I started doing the show 8 years ago, it was like some teams would bring back 9, 10. It's crazy, the sport.
It's a new era. It's a new
era. It's a new era. So I don't even think you penalize this much other than they got 4 back. Okay. But the big news is that they went out in the transfer portal and brought in E.J. Warner from Rice and Temple. This will be his 4th year as a starting quarterback in college football, and I think there is value in that. They also brought in Carson Conklin from Sac State, who I wonder if he's related to former Washington quarterback Kerry Conklin, who played for the Redskins. Running back Rayshawn Luke from Arizona. Wide receiver Jahlil McClain from Louisville. A wide receiver Josiah Ayon from Western Colorado there. Wide receiver Ezekiel Avett from Maryland. Wide receiver Luke Jones from Purdue. And then addressing the offensive line, because those North Dakota State teams under Matt Entz were power rushing teams. Marquise Thorpe Taylor coming in from UCLA. Steven Scott from the Illini and Brett Bielema. Kyson Van Vutt from Iowa. You could see Entz's and North Dakota State's impact rate. We need some guys from Iowa and Illinois. Also, offensive lineman Gino Quinones from USC, who obviously was with Entz a season ago. What do you make of these portal gets? Because I can tell you this, man. E.J. Warner has 58 touchdowns in his college career. I know Kurt Warner, Super Bowl champs, hate his opinion on dome football. It's the worst shit on planet Earth. But the guy can sling it. And I think you're getting a college football, a guy that has started a 4-year starter to me.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the teams we previewed do not have that luxury, and that's what makes this intriguing about Fresno State this year. Is if Warner stays healthy, which he has gotten dinged up at some of these stops, but it might work, man. It is interesting because he's not really like a mobile quarterback, which I feel like Wentz was mobile, Trey Lance was mobile, Cam Miller was mobile. But what do you make of this?
Yeah, I mean, they go out and get a guy with experience, 3-year starter, and he threw for 3,000 yards all 3 years at Temple and Rice, his 2 stops. I'm interested to see how he fits in this new offense because Josh Davis's offense, I think that they usually utilize the quarterback moving around a little bit. Warner's stats don't suggest that, but maybe he's a sneaky athlete, as we like to call all the white guys that got a little bit of athleticism. Anybody that's white and athletic, they're sneaky athletic.
Yeah, I mean, Kurt was super athletic when he was, bagging those groceries there at that grocery store. Yeah. Jaden Mandel is another QB to watch, I guess, if Warner does get dinged up. Another thing is the running back room's intriguing because Bryson Donelson is a name to keep an eye out for. And then I was alluding to this, it's hard to gauge who's a returning starter and who's not, but Josiah Freeman is a wideout to keep an eye on that's been injured over the years. The defensive side of the ball, actually, before I get to the defensive side of the ball, I want to tell you, folks out there, that the Fresno State season preview episode on the college football experience is brought to you by Edge Boost. Yes. Edge Boost is the first ever bank account that is built for bettors, ensuring all gambling transactions are approved. There's no usage fees, no minimums. They're not even going to do a credit check with your bum ass, all right? Sign up today at edgeboost.bet with the promo code SGPN. And look, this is the last week to sign up and get a free Refs Are Terrorists t-shirt. So just go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/refs to claim your free shirt today. We're also brought to you by Circa. Yes, in Las Vegas. If you haven't been to the Circa, you have not lived. Biggest sports book in the world. And then there's this thing called Stadium Swim, which is incredible. Look, Circa's giving away pretty much an entire trip for your 12-person league to draft in Vegas and be treated like VIPs the entire time. You're going to get a limo picking you up from the airport, a $5,000 bar and food and beverage tab there at Stadium Swim. A couple other sweet bar gigs, comped, and a hotel stay for you and your 11 league mates. Unbelievable deal. And get this, even if you don't win this, you can still get 15% off anytime you want to go to Circa with our promo code SGP15, right? But enter the Ultimate Fantasy Football Contest. It is free. Once again, it is free at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/circa. That's CIRCA. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/circa. All right, we are back in Oregon State. Just hit a grand slam. More Pac-12 news as they are putting it on Florida State right now. Saudi Arabia State. You know what I mean? But the defensive side of things, where obviously Tim Skipper was a season ago, but they were not elite. 65th in scoring defense, 62nd in pass defense, 50th in rush defense, charting at total defense, 125th out of 134 teams. So they got the work cut out for them. But this is what I like about Matt Entz. If you're asking me to sell you on Matt Entz, Nick, how do I pronounce this one?
Nintendo.
Yeah, is that Beanie? I was gonna say, is that an E like that? Benedetto. He was the DC at Northern Illinois, as you recall them holding Notre Dame to like 13 points or whatever it was. He did a great job at Northern Illinois. If anything, those teams were not great offensively; they were great defensively, and that is why I am very intrigued about this hire. This might be a very sneaky good hire. Once again, I think the same applies for offense, where the defense will be better just by default, just for being organized and knowing who the hell you have on your team. Because anytime a coach leaves, there's a 30-day window to hit the portal. So last season, you get the news of Tedford stepping down. Stability is not an option at that point. What do you make? You think the defense will be better this year?
Yeah, got to be better than 125th. That's not very good. I think they will. And Benintendo, it's interesting that Lance went with two different coordinators, not from North Dakota State. So he pick and choose these guys. His defense did a good job in Northern Illinois. Offensively, they were challenged, and that kind of held that team back. So, yeah, I'm interested to see how this group meshes, just because they have a lot of new faces. But, you're going to get that in this, A, with the portal era, but B, when you get a new staff as well.
Yeah, and the portal era is here. Look, they have three returning starters. Led by former 5-star at USC, who had a monster season for them, Jason Jacks, great name. And they bring back cornerback Alzillian Hamilton, great name as well, and free safety Jaden Davis. Some of the other secondary guys have experience playing as well. Once again, it was kind of hard to pigeonhole if they're defined returning starters or not, but they did put up some numbers. The portal, they go out and they bring in Finn Claypool from Drake, going deep into the FCS ranks. Martin Owusu from Minnesota, defensive lineman Bryson Harrington from Pitt. How about defensive lineman Michael Jordan Jr.? Wow. Okay. Nice. Keep him away from the craps table. Keep him away from the craps table and perhaps the booze. He's from Northern Colorado coming in. Linebackers, Jaden Pearson from Utah State. And how about Kayvon Thunderbird from Arizona State? That's one that's penciled in to be a starter day one. In the secondary, Sammy Hunter from Utah with Kyle Whittingham. And then how about these two gets? Andre Cobb from Northern Illinois and safety Ethan Tierney from Northern Illinois, as well as safety Simeon Harris from Utah State. Okay, that's the part that has me buying in, because Harris is one that is projected to start. I think Cobb could potentially start as well. Those come with the defense coordinator. Smart hiring there. The big question is, can the D-line, I know it's a lot of new faces, but I'm kind of optimistic on the defensive side. I like the hire, and then I think they did a decent job in the portal. What do you make?
Yeah, I agree. And Cobb and Tierney were both good in Northern Illinois, so they've already played in this system. Then you bring in Harris from Utah State, so they brought in a lot of faces here. That's for damn sure. But yeah, I like getting a couple of the guys that have actually played in the system for Benintendo. So I think that this optimistic on this group. I probably feel better about this group than the offensive side.
Yeah, I think so too. But I mean, with EJ Warner having that many starts, I think it's a good problem to have. Is like as long as he can stay healthy. Let's talk about state of the program because we've talked about what they're kind of like awesome at hiring head coaches. Part of state of the program is your stadium, Bulldog Stadium, 45 years young. I give this a 7 of 10. I almost gave it an 8. I like this stadium a lot. I like the classic look to it. I know they're thinking about investing money into it, but just keep the classic look too because it's a great look. I'm curious, Mac. What's great about Fresno too is their fans are awesome.
Look at that view right there.
Oh yeah, look at those I love the checkered end zones too. It's only South Dakota State, Tennessee, and them off the top of my head with checkered end zones. I like the checkered end zones. But yeah, look at that thing. That's a cool fucking stadium, man. And their fans are awesome. This is what I mean. Like they just have a great fan base, man. There's another shot from a similar spot. They just do college football well, man. It's just a great look. And I just don't tinker too much with it. You got a great thing. I like how you can see some trees in the background too. You got the old press box there.
Yep.
That fire. What do you give that thing 1 to 10?
I might give it an 8, man. I like that stadium. It holds 35, I think, is what I read. So, and just look at the scenery. Look at that. That's what's great about Fresno being kind of upstate Cali is you get the better scenery there, and it's more blue collar rather than those LA schools down there.
Oh yeah, look at that, man. I was a part of this. Shit, I don't know who took this photo. I could be somewhere in there. I might be doing
egg stand over there.
That's probably me right there. That's what I'm saying. These fans are legit, man. All right, they come out, they support their school. Look at that, man. They do college football right in Fresno, California, man. If you're thinking about going to a game, if you're anywhere out there in California, you better make sure you take advantage and go to a game. Nothing like a Fresno State football game. Check it. Look at that. I love the end zone shot. Look at that. You get fucking shrubbery. I that's an extra point. I might have to go back and make it an 8. Anytime you can get shrubbery in your fucking stadium photo, I'm on board there. Love the fact it's outdoors. Never put that thing indoors. That's your advantage. Yeah, love. So yeah, you give it an 8. I gave it a 7. I might be moving mine to an 8 after this. So state of the program. Okay, this was tricky to me.
Yeah,
because if you just look at it and say, well, Jeff Tedford's gone, but you know, you're kind of in this limbo, this new era. But then you're also, if you look at it, well, you're bringing in a 3-time FCS national champion coach. Other FCS national champion coaches have fared pretty well. If you looked at Sam Houston State last year with Casey Keeler is now at Temple, and Kurt Cignetti. So, and Craig Bowl, Chris Kleiman. I mean, you're looking at the former FCS national champions. Their coaches have done very well in the FBS. But with me, I just thought you're kind of in a dawn of a new age. I do believe the offensive philosophy is a lot different. You know, like Fresno, Jim Sweeney, Jeff Tedford played for Jim Sweeney. So, and Tedford was the OC under Pat Hill for a little bit. So I feel like Fresno's had kind of a pass first identity. It was never like air raid, but like, yeah, you have good running backs, Lorenzo Neal and Aaron Craver and just a bunch of guys, Ryan Matthews.
The car.
But you're kind of in this era where North Dakota State was a power running team. So we'll see if he does that. So I gave it a 7 of 10. What do you give the state of the Fresno State program right now?
I think 7's fair. I think Entz is a good hire, and I think they're headed in the right direction, but we need to see proof rather than us just speculating that we think it's going to be a good fit.
Yeah.
Show us.
What's that?
Show us.
Yeah. I think they're kind of one of. I know I'm sounding we're 10 previews in, but I did name Rice the most interesting team in college football this year. But I don't want to say that for every team because I'm optimistic. I love college football, but I am very intrigued to see Fresno State this season. Let's talk about this schedule because they have 3 bye weeks because they play a week 0 game as they take on the Kansas Jayhawks for the first time they've ever played the Jayhawks in Lawrence, Kansas, week 0. Let me just say this. I think Kansas will win this game, but
new stadium.
Yeah, that's true. They're opening up a brand new stadium. I mean, old stadium, but remodeled.
Yeah.
But that is a little tricky. But I will say this. Jalen Daniels was rough in September last year. He got it going late in this college football season. I know he didn't get injured. He was coming off an injury last year. But if he starts off that rough, Fresno could be live. But I'll take Kansas.
I'm going to take Kansas too. I was wondering. I just saw this. The line's 14.5. Yeah,
I'll take the points. I'll take the points.
Yeah, I'm going to take Kansas to win. Fresno to be competitive in this game. It is game 1 for Entz. So they have a lot going against him here. So give me rock chalk.
Yeah. Benedict Dantle in the chat. Shout out to Benedict Dantle. Yeah, what am I at right now? I think we're on 10 previews right now.
2, 4, 6, 8. This is number 10.
All right. So how many overs and unders have I done? I went under on SMU. I went under on Kansas State. Who else did we preview? I went over on Eastern Michigan. I went over on
Liberty.
That one's
the ones we loved were Southern Miss, Liberty, Rice, and Eastern Michigan.
Oh, I took the under on Louisiana.
Yeah.
Yeah. There we go. So we both got Fresno State 0-1. Correct?
Yes.
Game 2. Clay Helton's back in California. First ever matchup as Georgia Southern walks into Bulldog Stadium and get this bullshit out of here. I'm all over Fresno. That's a far ass trip, man. Statesboro's in the middle of nowhere, Georgia. You got to take a bus to Atlanta. Probably gonna have to connect Dallas. And where are you going? San Francisco or LA? Probably LA. And then you shoot up the 5. Man, shit's gonna take a little bit. Fresno State Matt Entz gets the first win of his career at Fresno State. You with me?
Yep, cosign. Dub 1-1.
All right, then the Fresno State Bulldogs head to Corvallis to take on the Beavs.
I love this game.
Series goes back to 1981. This is a future Pac-12 matchup here.
Yep.
I will say this: Fresno actually leads the all-time series. Here. So I have no idea. This was a hard game. Oregon State was a team that to me I thought was going to be better last year. I know the cupboard was empty, but I thought they would get better as the season gone along, and I don't believe they did. So I think Trent Bray could be that guy, former Beav himself. I'm going to take Oregon State just because it's Corvallis. The fans will be rocking. Reser Stadium's awesome. But if they're just a little bit ahead of schedule, they could win this thing.
Yeah.
But give me a loss. What are you doing here?
I'm gonna take the Beavs. I don't go against them in Corvallis. It is an early kick. It's not a night game, so maybe that could be beneficial for Fresno. But give me the Beavs at home. Yeah.
So we got them at 1-2. They come back home. First ever matchup as Southern out of the FCS and the SWAC come into town. I'm drawing a blank on my guy. It's the head coach there. He was at Nebraska as an interim, but no, he's not. That's Grambling. Yeah, this will be a win.
Yeah, 2-2.
2-2.
Yep, and then it gets good.
Yes, and then you hit the island to take on my guy Timmy Chang. And this is a good one, man. This one goes back to 1938. Fresno going to the island. I think we have a song about that.
It's a hard ticket to Hawaii. It's not paradise all the time.
This game is a tough game to project, dude. I think this is Timmy Chang's best team. But I also think Fresno State might just have the Jimmies and Joes. Having a 5-star on your defensive line,
Yeah.
it's kind of a huge advantage. Give me Fresno to win on the island, but I think this could be a game.
This is a kind of coin flip. I'm with you. Give me Fresno in a tight one. I'm with you. 3-2.
3-2. Then we get a nice bye week. All right. And this is the time when I read an ad. But 3-2 for Matt Entz, and he's 1-0 in conference. But folks, before we get to the rest of the season, I want to let you know that the college football experience, Fresno State Bulldog style, is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Yes, Underdog is going along for the NBA Finals with their extender bonus. Hop in game one, and the longer the series goes, the bigger the bonus gets. So jump on over there. They got everything too, man. I'm playing CFL, UFL, NHL, MLB shit. I'm playing everything. Did horse racing. So sign up, and when you do, use our promo code TCESGPN to claim your special pick plus first time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus credits. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code TCESGPN. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. You probably heard me talk about Rhythm before if you've been tuning in over the years. Well, they just dropped a game-changing feature called Power Trends that I think is pretty awesome. These are AI-detected patterns where Rhythm's model has consistently won and has a huge ROI. Think a strikeout prop that wins 59% of the time when the line and the win probability hit a certain range. Look, and Power Trends are updated daily over at Rhythm, and they're exclusive to only Rhythm. There's no touts, no noise, just clean data-backed bets, baby. So what are you doing? Download the Rhythm app. Check out Power Trends and start betting smarter. You know, we'll pick Dundee will be. All right. So also get your 7-day free trial at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's RITHMM. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. We're also brought to you by mybookie.ag. Yes, MyBookie is your place to bet on every single sport, including the NBA Finals and NHL Stanley Cup Finals. And look, MyBookie accepts customers from a ton of different locations, even outside of the states. You can easily deposit, get lightning fast payouts using crypto. So head on over to mybookie.ag. But when you do, use our promo code TCESGPN for a 100% deposit match up to $1,000. Once again, terms and conditions apply. That's mybookie.ag, promo code TCESGPN. All right, we are back. First bye week in the books here. 3-2 is what we both have the Fresno State Bulldogs at. And now they host Jeff Choate and the Nevada Wolfpack. This series goes back 102 years. This is dangerous to me because I think Nevada is improved. I think I was impressed with Choate last year at Nevada. They get a bye week though. This is a dangerous game to me, but I will take Fresno State just like that. I don't feel great about it.
Yeah, I'll take them off the bye week. I like taking year one coaches off their bye weeks because more time to get their system in and an extra week of practice. So yeah, give me Fresno.
Wow, just like that, 4-2 for Matt Entz, and then they hit the road to Fort Collins to take on Jay Norvell and the Rams.
Friday night game.
What's the date on this game?
Friday, October the 10th.
Oh shit, it's my anniversary. I'm not going to be able to watch this one. I'm gonna have to sneak this one at the restaurant and put it on my phone. It's a late game.
It doesn't kick off till 10 o'clock.
There you go. I'll give her enough wine, get her passed out by then, right?
So start the anniversary at fucking happy hour 3 o'clock.
I hate when football aligns with does that mean next year it's gonna be on a Saturday? Damn it.
Yeah.
I'll take Colorado State to get this one.
Same. If we're giving them Hawaii and Nevada, I mean, yeah. I think they go 2-1 in that stretch.
Altitude's a real thing. You'll be huffing and puffing.
Short week too.
You know. All right. So that puts us at 5-4? Is it 5-4?
No, 4-3.
Jesus. My math is fantastic. Second bye week. Remember, there's 3 bye weeks because they play week 0. I do like that. If I was a coach, I would play week 0 because I think
agree.
3 bye weeks is a smart angle. Then you host Sean Lewis and San Diego State. This is somewhat of a rivalry game. Goes back 102 years. I'll take Fresno to win this one, but I was disappointed with Sean Lewis in year 1 at San Diego State, but I still think he's a coach you got to watch out for because I did love that hire. I was just surprised that it was that bad year 1. It doesn't mean year 2 will be that bad, but give me Fresno to get it done.
Yeah, I'm gonna take. I'll take Fresno. I think they get this thing done off the bye week. It's an extra day off the bye week too because they're coming off a Friday night game. So 15 days of prep here.
So we got them at the same record, which I'm not even going to state because I'll be wrong.
3 going to Boise.
Yeah, believe it or not, Fresno. Ask Jeff Tedford. He's had some success in Boise.
Yeah,
but he's not there. Yeah, so I will take Boise, and this series goes back to 1977. I love this matchup. This you could make the case that these might be the top 2 teams in the Pac-12 moving forward. But give me Boise on the Smurf turf to get it done. So what's that put us at right now?
5-4. I'll never pick against Boise on that turf. No chance in hell.
Yeah. All right. Well, guess what? You get another bye week after that Boise loss. You say, let's settle down, guys. Let's close the year. We're still gonna make a bowl. If we handle our shit, we could still maybe even play Boise again in the Mountain West Championship. Then you come out of it and you host Wyoming. Wyoming's another one like San Diego State that disappointed severely in year 1. They got to prove it to me now. I think Fresno wins, and I think they win big. What are you doing here?
Yeah, I like Fresno in this game as well. Wyoming might be the worst. I don't know if they're the worst team.
Now, here's something that's interesting. Both these guys were on the North Dakota State staff.
Yep.
So that is intriguing. They know. I believe
they know how each other thinks.
Yeah. So I was about to say, I believe each coach will be saying something similar to this.
Because I understand how the bastard thinks. I taught him. Now I own one.
But I'm going to go win in Fresno. The crowd will be too much, man.
Yep. I'll be on Fresno here too. 6-4. Bowling.
Then Bronco Mendenhall and Utah State come to town in a series that goes back to 1952. Now, this is what sucks about this game. You're not getting Bronco early. You're getting them late.
Yeah.
But it is in Fresno, dude. Ah, man. You know what? I'll take Fresno. Just because I feel like the home edge is huge.
Give me Bronco. They're gonna be playing good ball by the end of the year, and I gave them the at Hawaii game. I'll say they split these 2 games, 2 coin flip games. I like Utah State next year. Mendenhall teams always get better and better.
So that puts you then at
6-5. You're at 7-4.
7-4, and then this is a rivalry game. The Battle for the Valley, which by the way, they've been playing this one since 1921. And get this, Fresno has a lead, but only by 6 games. So goddamn, this has been a close rivalry over the years. I am very bullish on San Jose State, so I will take San Jose State to get this thing done. I think San Jose State and Niumatalolo will be pretty damn good this year. So I have a loss at legendary Spartan Stadium there. What are you doing here?
Yeah, I'll take another veteran coach in November. Give me Kenny here, baby, to get it done. I got them finishing 6-6 after dropping their final 2, but back to a bowl game.
So exactly what Tim Skipper did last year.
Yeah.
I got him 7-5, but the win total is 6.5.
It's a hard schedule, man.
It is. You would I don't know. You want Wyoming on the schedule, but you probably want New Mexico. Like, who do you want on the schedule?
Well, I'm just saying their road games are hard. They have
True.
5. They're going to be underdogs in 5 out of their 6 road games.
True, and I do think if you look at the schedule, and I forgot to mark which ones were the away games, but I can tell you right now, it's Kansas, Oregon State, Hawaii on the island, then Colorado State, then Boise. Then you're right. Every team that they play on the road is going to be a bowl team, I think.
Is Hawaii their easiest game on the road? And that's a fucked up trip. Like, that's a brutal road schedule.
That is, man. It is a brutal road schedule. But if we're going to mention that, I think if you watched all of Mountain West football last year, you would say, if you had to see a schedule, you'd say, give me Wyoming, give me San Diego State, and give me Nevada. And maybe New Mexico. So New Mexico would be the one that you missed out on. But I think you would say, give me those other three. And then I think after that, you'd probably say Hawaii. Yeah. So in that regard, maybe you got some favors. They're all at home. You should take care of business at home. Well, how about that? At home, what's the hardest game at home? It's the Georgia Southern game.
The home schedule's good. It like there's no in between on either of them. It's just they got all the hard teams on the road and they got all the easy ones at home. So yeah, I think I like 6 and 6.
Let me ask you something though here. If they do beat, Colorado State's been all over the place with Jay Norvell.
True. If
they win that game there, or if they beat Bronco Mendenhall and Utah State in week 13, because he's in year 1.
Ceiling's 8 and 4.
Well, I'm just saying they're plus 800 to make the Mountain West to win the Mountain West. I know they'd have to win the championship game,
and
but
that gonna be?
Well, I would assume it's in Boise, but it has been in Vegas.
Yeah,
it wasn't Vegas the year before. I think it could be in San Jose this year, by the way, too.
Yeah.
No one's talking enough about
any baby.
Yeah. My point though is like, could it be? Let's say they get the Rams of Colorado State. Their in-conference losses then would be Boise and Utah State heading into that game against Sparty, the battle for the Valley. The winner's probably going to go to the Mountain West Championship.
Depending on what UNLV's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't sleep on Air Force too.
Yeah, Air Force.
Sleep on Air Force.
Yeah. Chat saying you're crazy for saying they could win it.
I mean, let me tell you something, Benedict. Fresno State is a plug and play fucking university. I just mentioned they have a 5-star on the defensive line. You know who else has a 5-star on a defensive line in this conference? Nobody. All right. I understand recruiting rankings can be overrated, but I can tell you this: Fresno State has had 5 different coaches since 1980, and all of them have won what? With the exception of the interim last year. Let me just rattle this off for you. All right. Since 1980, okay. They were 11-1 in 82. They were 11-0-1 in 85. They won 10 games in 88. They won 11 in 89. They won 10 in 91. 9 in 92. Okay, 11 in 2001. 9 in 02. 9 in 03. 9 in 04. 9 in 2007. Then the third 3 coaches in now. 9 and 12 in 2012. 11 in 2013. Oh, then they hired Jeff Tedford. What does he do? He went from 1 win, where the previous coach was 1-11, to 10-4, to 12-2. Right? So he took over a program that was 1-11, and in year 1 won 10 games. Right? Mm-hmm. Then went 12-2. Oh, Kalen DeBoer, same situation, 10 wins. Tedford, the past 2 years, 9 wins and 10 wins before he gave it up for Tim Skipper. So I am not dumb enough to say that they couldn't just strike gold here. They get better athletes than majority of the Mountain West. They do. And when you mix that with the rabid fan base, they could, I don't even think it's that crazy. If I met some dude tomorrow, if I'm at the fucking bar, or if I'm on a flight and some guy's like, I'm on plus 800 to win the Mountain West, I'd be like, yeah, I can see it. Because it's Fresno State.
Yeah.
They've earned this over 40 years of history. So, and like I said, even Boise State doesn't have a 5-star on the defensive line. EJ Warner is a 4-year starting quarterback. Boise is still starting a sophomore. Now, Boise, I still think is going to beat him, but I'm just saying, you shouldn't be shocked if Fresno achieves a lot more than you think and win the conference or play for the conference championship, in my opinion. But I'm on the over, and I do not feel good about it. So
after selling that, I'm on the
Yeah.
under. I don't feel good
Yeah.
about it. It's going to come down to 6-6 or 7-5, I think.
yeah. He says first-year coaches don't matter anymore, but what about Jeff Tedford or Kalen DeBoer just did this? I mean, in the past 5 years. What about Kurt Signetti? What are we talking about here, buddy? I love you, but I'm saying like Signetti just took Indiana to the fucking playoffs, you know?
Yeah.
It can happen.
Sonny Dykes.
Yeah, Sonny Dykes went to the national championship. Anyway, yeah, I'll take the over. I don't feel great about it. You're on the
Under. Not a lot of confidence either.
yeah, I would say this one. Don't touch this one. I actually think I would bet the plus 800 to win the Mountain West before I would take the over 6.5 wins. Just because I think your upside of Fresno historically, you're like, well, they got some guys, and if this defensive coordinator, Northern Illinois' defense was legit, so if that defense does put the clamps on, you know, the rest of the conference, you have a 4th-year starting quarterback, great home advantage. Why not? Right? But yeah, I'm staying away from all that shit though. Folks, we're 51 minutes into Fresno State here. Make sure you give Moneyline Mac a follow on Twitter at Moneyline_Mac. I'm on Twitter at TheColbyD. The College Football Experience is on Twitter at TCE on SGPN. And another thing is we just talked Colorado State Ram football. That's happening tomorrow. All right. We just jump into the action. We got to remember what we did, right? I said loss for Fresno. You said loss. All right. So we got them 1-0. Let's go. Shout out to Robert Martin. Shout out to Rolex Dad for hooking us up, supporting the pod. Appreciate you. If you can, please help us out. Yeah, I'm excited to talk Fresno State. Just throughout the season, but I'm excited to talk Colorado State tomorrow. Also, the Ohio Bobcats, actually the MAC champs, the reigning MAC champs. Shout out to Benedict Dantold, hell of a good guy. All right. Till tomorrow, folks. Make sure you check out the college baseball experience. These games are on right now. West Virginia's battling back. It's fantastic. Check out the college baseball experience. Also, the college basketball experience with myself and Mac. We're live every single night of the season. All right. And we're getting ready for it. And also the FCS college football experience. Sac State coming to the FBS next year? Independent. I wonder what that does damage-wise to Fresno. That's an interesting thing. So they're over, they're not far from one another. What does that do for recruiting territory? That's going to be fascinating. Anyway, till next time, folks, this is the college football experience, Fresno State style. You better start thinking about yours. And we out of here.
Celly's off, so I can't be found. I'm on a worldwide tour, touring every fucking curtain down. They say the Lord watches over my sins, over my head, watching hair as it thins, over the ledge, and ain't letting me in. There's still regiments and relevance to letting me win. Win, lose or draw. You ain't prepared unless you all ready to lose it all. Losing a brawl? Yeah, that's a ride a day. Good friends know my Nina Hideaway. They came and went, but the riders stay. So it's like I won the lottery and can't be found. Until I resurface with the latest purchase. 33 and a third and 45 circles. You ain't got that shit. And I ain't 45 king. But on the beats, I've been doing my thing. I start the program and the doorbell ring. I gotta leave town to a place I can't be found. My celly's off, so I can't be found. I'm on a worldwide tour, touring every fucking curtain down. American dreams, lessons, and still they work. I guess the sand on the beach still was really dirt. Now I'm going home, flying over Rome. 30,000 feet, like damn, is that really Earth? I see the killers work on walls, familiar turf. Got a little school in graph, 101 was first. Got a little school in math, didn't really work. But put the numbers on the block and I make them hurt. Any block is my stomping ground where my people lay low so they can't be found. They don't wanna be, ain't from the crew, but I'm honorary. Liquid, soul assassin, psycho harmony. Type of armory that's more than a shield. Type of armory's DeLorean steel. Type of warrior's ill. So true to my sound, but dig deep so it can't be found. My celly's off so I can't be found. I'm on a worldwide tour, touring every fucking curtain down.
It's the revenge of our stealth, the intelligence plane. Bomber, a manifestation of karma. The far left, low keys, let it be. Listen, whispering words of wisdom. Ghost dog breathe in the shadow of leaves. Same darkness hides criminals, crooks, and thieves. Special forces, black ops. Bad brains, fishbone, black rock. Matter of fact, Chuck Berry and James Brown. But most of the true story
can't be found.
Unchained melodies inscribed in freestyle. I rock rhyme mosaics more potent with each style. Crack the system more open with each file. Upgrades and free hotels with these miles. Expansion team dilated peoples in town. If there's a better sound in it,
can't be found. My celly's off so I can't be found. I'm on a worldwide tour, touring every fucking curtain down.